Hi guys, it's Hani here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My annual Halloween gingerbread house video is here and I made the Addams Family house. I'm super excited about this video, so let's get started. I used my gingerbread cookie dough recipe for centerpieces and gingerbread houses. You can find it on my blog. I'm going to include a link to this recipe down below in the description box. We're going to start by decorating side panels. You're going to need 2 side panels and I'm gonna decorate them with white and black first, and then we'll use some gray as well. Divide the cookie and then start icing every other section with white royal icing. I'm using about 20 to 30 second consistency here, and then we're going to let it crust, and then we'll come back again with black royal icing and we'll fill in the remaining sections. Once you are done icing the first layer, you have to let it dry and then take gray royal icing, piping consistency, and make the frames and fill them with dark gray royal icing. Add the skulls once the frame crusts, and now we're ready to ice the chimney parts. Chimney parts are really easy. I'm just going to ice them with gray and then we'll let them dry. We'll add the dots all around and then we'll paint them with edible silver paint. Now I'm going to decorate the back panel. I was inspired by the costume of Wednesday Addams, so I'm gonna ice it with some gray first. I'm gonna let it dry and then I'll come back with white and we'll make a color, and I'm gonna add cute little gingerbread braids and also some skull buttons. If you'd like to know how to make these gingerbread braids, you can fast forward to the end of the video. I'm including a whole section on how to make certain parts from this gingerbread house. Let the color dry and then you can outline it with white royal icing, piping consistency. Now we're gonna decorate bottle of poison. Let it crust for about an hour and then add white layer. This is going to be label. You can also use frosting sheet if you have frosting sheet. Let it dry completely and then using edible marker you can write on the icing. Paint the cap with some silver edible paint. Now this is going to be Morticia. So first I'm gonna do the face. I'm gonna let it crust. Then I will add the neck. Let it crust and then continue on the other side. Once the icing dries, you can add facial details. I'm going to use edible marker. Now we're gonna make Gomez. Gomez is done, and who is next? Who is this, guys? Do you know who that is? I think the shape is giving it away. It's Lurch, of course. I wanted to include Lurch as well. I'm going to actually stick these faces in the windows. Now we're making Uncle Fester. This is going to be a house sign. If you'd like to know how to put this cookie together, you can fast forward into that section where I share how to create certain shapes. You're gonna ice it with white, let it dry, and then use edible marker and write on it, beware of the thing. To make the cousin it, I used the bell-shaped cookie cutter, and I'm using yellow royal icing, 15-second consistency. We're gonna let it crust and then we'll make the head. I'm doing the head in 2 sections, letting the first one dry, and then once the whole icing dries, we can use edible marker and make the glasses. Now this is a flower pot, so I'm going to ice the bottom with gray. We have to let it dry and then make the stripes with silver edible paint. Here is the front panel. I'm going to ice it with gray. Let the icing dry and then add dots. These are going to be shutters. I'm going to ice them with red. We're gonna let them dry and then we can attach them onto the front panel. Use stiff icing to attach the shutters. Now you can add cousin it. Just glue it on the front, and here is how we're going to attach faces into the window. So you have to make sure that your actual cookie that you are using for the faces, it's slightly larger than the opening on your panel, and then once you attach it, you have to let it dry completely before handling the cookies. I'm also going to paint the inner portion of the frame with some silver paint. And now we're ready to put the house together. So underneath I have wax paper. I'm gluing the back panel with royal icing onto the wax paper. I'm using stiff royal icing that I colored with some brown food coloring. Once you put the base together, let it dry for about 3-4 hours and then you can attach the roof. To make the roof, I'm using dark blue royal icing. I'm using stiff royal icing. Now attach the chimney. Again, you can learn how to make all of these decorative pieces. Just fast forward to the end of the video. Fill the chimney with some brown royal icing and then you can stick in the hand. There goes the thing. To make royal icing roses that you've seen in the video, the black and red ones, We're going to layer some dark gray or black royal icing and red royal icing, and I'm going to use petal tip. You're also going to need flower nail and small parchment or wax paper squares. I'm using stiff icing. I'm going to let these dry overnight and then we can use them for the project. To finish the flower pot, I'm going to fill the hole with royal icing and then I'm going to stick it into black sanding sugar. Initially, I had a different design in mind, so that's why I made the hole in the flower pot. Attach the roses using some royal icing, and once the roof is dry, you can also glue the bed onto the roof. And that's how you can make the Addams Family House. Here is a quick tutorial on how to make the braided gingerbread. To make the roof decorations, I use this silicone mold. I'm going to stick it into the freezer for about 5-10 minutes, and then we're going to unmold it and it will come out nicely shaped, and then you can just bake these off. For the door, I used another silicone mold, and I'm going to hand cut the door using X-Acto knife. Make sure that you protect your work surface. Underneath there I have a plastic sheet. To make little skulls that I used for the windows, I'm going to shape the dough into a teardrop shape, and then we're gonna make the eyes and teeth. To make the rose, again I'm going to shape one piece into a cone shape, I would say, and then we're gonna flatten pieces of gingerbread dough and I'm gonna wrap it around the cone, just like if you were to make fondant roast, the same technique. I'm going to shape it on a baking sheet so it stays more upright with some parchment underneath. For the flower pots, I used another silicone mold, and I'm going to shape a piece of gingerbread dough using a wooden spoon. I made a hole, but really you don't need to make a hole in it if you are going to follow my tutorial. I had different plans with this flower pot, but I changed my mind about it. So if you wanted to, you could just create a cone shape and then flatten it on both sides and then bake it like that. Of course, I'm attaching the pretty decorative top there. To make the house sign, I'm going to wrap this piece of gingerbread around an oval shaped cookie. You can also use a little bit of water for the glue so it doesn't separate. To make the thing, the hand, I used a small mitten cookie cutter. I divided the cookie and then I shaped each little finger. And then using the straw, I made the nails. And that's how you can make this gingerbread house inspired by the Addams family. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had so much fun making this gingerbread house. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.